No, today we can play.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spaceless Realms Podcast. Today, of course, I'm here with Kalki, the one and only. We will be speaking about the power of our ancestors, the power of our DNA, the power of what truly lies within us and what we can unlock through this existence so we may become all that we are meant to be. So, yeah, Kalki, welcome. Let's get into it. We are the supernatural mutants in the flesh, but we just have to realize that.
Exactly.
We're
And
the
that's the
main.
point. Today I wanted to have fun. So today let's put it for that. So most people know me as Kalki, but some people know me as Legion. In the X-Men universe, people know me as Legion. They know you as Wolverine.
Mhm.
So today, to me, this is what I think of is like it's Legion and Wolverine having a conversation. And that doesn't happen often in the X-Men comics. You know what I mean? They don't cross paths that often.
Mhm. Yeah, even it's just a metaphor, like it's just an analogy using that as an example. But another way you could look at it is that we are in this holographic reality that we are the controllers of, and we can control and be the main character in our own story. And we can write our own story like our life is a book. Our life is a continuous book that we're going chapter to chapter with. And each of these chapters has a different aspect of ourselves within that. Yeah, so what do you think?
That's
Yeah.
that's a perfect analogy. And what I'd like to add to that, which is the same principle about the book. Do you remember those books when you were a kid where you had to you made a choice in the book and then you went to whatever page it told you? Did you ever
Yeah.
grow up with those? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel like our life is. We have choices every single day, and it takes us to a different chapter, a different page in the book, depending on what we do. And that goes hand in hand with quantum reality. So what's very interesting with that is that without having a character, if you don't think of yourself as supernatural, life is going to be, I'd say, significantly less interesting because you want to see the supernatural in nature. You want to see the magic in the mundane. You want to see the essence of life is the paradox of those two realities coexisting.
Mm.
So if you can see what's hidden behind what's on a daily basis around you, you start marveling and seeing the magic in everything. And that's your superpowers in that sense, but you have to be in harmony with nature in order to be able to unlock those powers. Otherwise, they might end up being evil powers.
Hmm. Yeah, I was reading the Bhagavad Gita and how they're they're like Krishna. Let's talk about the archetype of Krishna, of how he's a trickster and he's mischievous, but he goes against what is seen as evil and he plays with those rules as well. It's not all good and fairies and rainbows and everything like that. It's a balance of both terrible things and also very good things. So yeah,
You're right.
I want you to speak about Krishna and how to use that art of war against the nefarious forces that are in this reality.
Yeah, it's very true. Actually, Krishna is an amazing archetype, and Krishna throughout his life is very supernatural. From birth, he starts speaking, or they start speaking. They're queer, they're non binary, but they're attracted to women. So they break all the stereotypes, they break all the boundaries. And, the completion, Krishna is one of the rare ones that recognizes the superiority of the divine feminine. In India, that's common, but in other religions, it really isn't. In other faiths and spiritualities, that's difficult, it's suppressed. But Krishna recognizes that Radha is 10 million times beyond him. Now, that takes a really humble man to be able to acknowledge that.
Hmm.
And the description in the Gita of the three types of yoga is the best way to achieve, a fully aware, super conscious self to me, because he describes the three types of yoga to Arjuna before the war. And he actually explains to him that the karmic yoga is fine, but it takes a long time. It's like walking across the entire battlefield, walking across a country. It'll take you a long, long time. You take one step at a time. And then jnana yoga, which is based on knowledge, would be like, say, building a chariot and crossing it with horses, or building a car, or hopping on a plane. That's based on knowledge. It's based on wisdom and knowledge applied in science. So that would be based on shastras. But then, or jnana, the knowledge of the shastras, the jnana of the shastras. But then after that, the ultimate form of yoga, which is really not a physical form of yoga, but the everyday yoga of daily devotion, the dharma sanatana, which is eternal divine duty. the ultimate form of yoga is bhakti. And bhakti yoga is devotion to all sentient beings, like that heart that you just made right now.
I didn't realize you could do this. Yo, Kalki, try. Do a heart symbol. No, do a
It's
heart.
not
Just like
working. My
all,
phone's too old.
no, do a heart with all of your fingers.
It's
Oh,
not working.
interesting.
You're the only one with the magic ability.
Wow. Okay, I wanted to dive into something that I like to use for my own personal growth. It's like if I were to take on a disciple, how would I want that disciple to be? What would I want them to do? What kind of qualities would I want them to have? And then when you're done listing all of the things that you would want this disciple to do to become their own master, flip that perspective on yourself and then see if you are living that way. You know what I mean?
That's a really good question. I would say I am, because what I was going to say is flip it back around right from the beginning. Don't expect anything that you want them to be like, because you don't want them to be like something. They have to be themselves. But then
Yeah.
paradoxically, sometimes you might have to give them, like you said, certain sets of instructions, or maybe like the first thing I would say would be nutrition. Take care of your nutrition and your health, your water, your medicine, your health, and then you'll be good. The
Yeah.
rest of it to me. So for me, I wouldn't pass, because I am using water and medicine and I'm taking care of my health, but I'm not as healthy as I should be.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like an analogy to yourself. Like if you were like this master with all of this knowledge, all of this wisdom, all so mighty and powerful, how would you take on a disciple if you were to? And how would you train that disciple to be their best self?
I'd do it like Pai Mei and Kill Bill, do backflips on swords and laugh my ass off.
Hmm.
No, I'm just joking. But no,
But
realistically, Wolverine can't really take on Legion, and Wolverine, they don't really know how to take on disciples. They run on their own, because
no,
we don't we
you're
don't really
missing the
know
meaning.
how to relate to the crowd that way. Yeah.
Okay, you're missing the meaning. It's more so like an analogy from your higher self to the avatar that is in this realm, and how that higher self would instruct you on how to do things in this realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they wouldn't instruct me. They'd say, you've got all the knowledge already. It'd be like my supervisors at university when I was doing my PhD. They were like, Anton, you know what you're doing. You've got more expertise in that field than we do. You do your thing. Just tell us when you're done. And if you have any questions, just ask us. I
Wow.
feel like that's what my higher self would tell me. And in that sense, I would pass.
Wow. I really like that perspective. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Damn.
because they would say you already have all that awareness inside of you.
Hmm. Yeah, that really sparks your belief in yourself, like when you think like that.
Say, for people that don't take the mutant thing seriously, if you don't think that people can really be superheroes, trust me, you've seen martial artists, you've seen people that do extraordinary things. You see the Facebook reels or the YouTube videos of somebody pushing an alligator back out into the Amazonian River or something. Everybody can be a daily superhero. We all have our moments of glory. But at the end of the day, some people consistently train to be on higher supernatural levels on a daily basis. Those people, they become like beyond omega level mutants. They're like the highest class of ranking mutants.
Hmm. Yeah, it's about what you do on a daily basis that shapes your future, right?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I wrote my mom a note. I said, love you forever. And I'm gonna leave it like on her desk because that's what I want now.
That's cute.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like for the stage that I am at in life, it's more so like I want to mature from my younger self and acknowledge all of the blockages that I encountered when I was younger and to overcome and learn to love and forgive those parts of myself. And yeah, and in turn become a whole new person on the other side of that. It's like I complete a cycle and then I become reborn anew. And then part of that connects with connecting to my higher self and streaming that knowledge down as an avatar in this realm.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny because we're at complementary opposite senses in our life. I was born as a Wolverine too before I kind of morphed myself into Legion, or the government did that to me.
Hmm.
And to me, I feel like I'm trying to go back towards that teenage self. I'm actually going back into aging backwards, into finding my immortal self, into being
Fine.
more youthful, more aware of who I am on a daily basis, being more like my immortal rebellious self. But you're trying to go from your rebellious teenage self, Wolverine, into an adult life.
Mm, in a sense, but I'm also going backwards as well. Because when I was like really young, like a 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old, like I was like a genius at that time. So I'm also morphing back into that state as well.
Yeah,
Like
same.
that timeless self that just like spans across everything.
That's
That's
bomb.
not stuck in duality as well. Like escaping duality and mastering those polar opposites is it's very important for growth, and like that's the way I see it.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I would agree entirely. I'd say, like, to me, I'm definitely trying to keep that youth version of me inside me proud, and then the teenage version of me proud, but then upgraded. And the adult version of me, I'm evolving into that as well, the same way you've described. So I think we've both got elements that are complementary in there.
Mhm. Also, if we are going to go back to the topic of becoming a actual mutant in this life, that has to do with using the power of your mind to visualize that power and that energy and being able to master energy with your mind. And that comes through meditation and being able to free your mind from this realm, free your mind from thoughts, and be able to use your mind as a tool to tap into your own energy and be able to manipulate it. Just like if you were to work on your chakras, slowly work on each of your chakras at a time and feel the energies that come with working on those chakras. So yeah, learn to
I
use,
agree entirely.
yeah,
I
learn to
would say
use your,
it's super important to actually become who you are by tapping into that higher self version of you. But then also, well, there's no but there. Also, I would say being your true supernatural and mutant self, like you said, has to do with heightened brain activity. So if your brain is overclocking, you're in the mutant realm. You're in the realm where if you're using 10, 20, 30% of your brain activity instead of five, you're no longer a normal human. You're in the mutant realms of brain activity. And that's actually what I feel like you were describing too.
yet I've noticed like a lot of people are seen as outcasts in that way. Like when they are a black sheep of the crowd, they're looked at differently, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a rare path to walk this path. It's rare. It's very few actually tread what comes with this and what comes
But those are the people that change the world and create revolutions, though.
exactly. No, you're exactly right. So yeah, whoever is tuning into this, you're not alone. And I'm sure because you are gravitated toward this, you must have done it in some other life, and you have limitless amounts of knowledge and wisdom within you that all you need to do is just tap into it and let it flow through you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Couldn't have put it better myself, truly and honestly.
yeah.
You are not alone. And that's what my birth name means, literally against aloneness. So I'm completely against monasticism. I'm against the,
What? Yo,
solitude meditation, against aloneness. Antimony, Anthony, Antimonios, against aloneness. The anti monk.
wow. I did not know your name meant that. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
My name represents the mountain, Mount Logan. It's like one of the biggest mountains in Canada. And
Ow.
yeah,
Yeah, I know
so
about it.
yeah, I feel like I want to feel like a mountain, you know? And
You are.
of course, climbing a mountain, there's very difficult times, but then when you reach the peak, that's where everything begins because then you see everything. Like when I was younger, what I used to do is like I used to like when I felt like I wanted to like escape my life, I would go climb a mountain, and I would see when you're on top of this mountain, everything's not, you're so small. You're such a like a small small piece in the whole puzzle of existence. And then when you're on top of this mountain, you see everything. Like you have this amazing view.
Yeah,
You see where you came from, and just your vision becomes much more wide and much more open, openness, letting go to the
that's
flow.
beautiful to think of.
Yeah, man.
A small part of the whole, but with an all-encompassing view.
Yeah. Most people like I'm not gonna single out most people because I used to be one of these people. But when your perspective is becoming so wide and you see how small you really are, most people see that in a very insignificant way. They see themselves as very small, meaningless, minuscule, and everything like that. But I keep a very positive outlook on that and seeing how powerful I actually am to actually be a part of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Because yeah, it's your ego dying. Like I have so many experiences with that. Just like letting the ego just fragment and fall away.
that's a big one too. To actually get into your mutant self is like break your normal self down to nothingness and push your boundaries.
Yes.
Push your boundaries of who you are, what you can do, what you can achieve, what you can think, what you can create, what you can work, and then suddenly you transcend those limitations of humanity.
Hmm. Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna grab a tarot deck and I want to pull a card.
Sounds good.
Also, finding your spirit animal.
Yes, finding the totem super important.
Hmm.
Mine's been there since birth. It's been Wolverine, and I'm like, couldn't be happier.
Okay.
So that's why I met you.
Okay, right here. This is really cool. The Queen of Pentacles.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah, man.
It's an African goddess too.
Yep. The Queen of Pentacles.
Wow. I mean, to me, the major arcana is they speak for God's like, when you're in the royalty, it's like she literally looks like an empress. She's
Yeah.
the one that holds all the magic.
Hmm.
It's like it's already cool to get a Pentacles card, but then the Queen of Pentacles, there's no Empress of Pentacles in there. You know what I mean? Like there's the Empress, there's the Priestess, the Queen of Pentacles is like that ultimate. She's like a major arcana.
Hmm.
So really, really beautiful, charged with magic, so much power in the diaspora, the black magic of Pentacles, the primordial magic of paganism, the primordial energy and resource, which is the true currency, which is not centralized funds. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I bless the space. Let's finish it off here.
Yo, like what?
All right. Thank you to all of the energetic forces that tuned into this. I, yeah, I bless my higher self. I bless all of our higher selves. And yeah, may we become all that we are meant to be in this existence, you know?
Indeed. Let's put,
Indeed.
dress up, cosplay, dream, like have fun, change your perspective, change your haircut, change your beard, do something, anything that you want to do. Be yourselves.
Hmm. Also, I wanted to just give thanks and blessings to my grandfather who passed away on May 4th. So it's like his death anniversary coming up. So yeah, I
Oh,
wanted
wow.
to say blessings to him, Grandpa Lou. I hope you're I already know everything's good, you know? But
Dope.
yeah,
I'll say
I
peace
just
to my
wanted to say
grandfather
thanks.
Romeo, too, man.
Bless our ancestors. Peace.
Yeah.